Alright, so I'm going to go over the study guide a little bit for tomorrow's Chapter 1 test. I didn't have too many issues with the first few problems, so I'm going to kind of just skip through them and get to the ones that I felt that you needed the most help on. For this one, make sure you're writing the following as a power, so your base number is 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 to the 5th power. For the next one, make sure that you're filling in the values and not just answering 9 times 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. Remember, when you see the 9 and the exponent 2, that tells you you're multiplying it to itself and not 9 times 2. Determining whether 99 is a perfect square and support your answer. No, it is not a perfect square because two identical numbers, need to multiply to themselves to be a perfect square. For tomorrow's test, make sure that you support your answer. So this would be like a 2 point. You would get 1 point for your answer, whether it is yes or no, and then supporting your answer. Order of operations. Remember, I would write this on the side of your test, so it'll be a reminder of PEMDAS. Remember, multiplication and division, if they are in the same row and there's nothing else left, they go left to right. So looking at our problem, 14 minus 2 squared. The 2 squared, I can write it down as 14 minus 4 and bring everything else down. I know we went through this today. So I'm still in my parentheses here. I have a 10. 30 divided by 10 times 5. Since in this problem there's only division and multiplication, there's no other sign, there's no adding, subtracting, nothing else, we're going to do left to right. So we would do division first. 30 divided by 10 is 3, and 3 times 5 is 15. Make sure you circle your answer for me. That would be great. All right. Now I have two exponents. I have an exponent here and an exponent here. Make sure you solve what's inside the parentheses first. So 2 squared minus 2, that's 4 minus 2. And I still have this exponent I did not solve. Don't forget about it. So 4 minus 2 is 2 squared minus 15 divided by 5. Now, following the order of operations, I did my parentheses. Now I'm going to do my exponent. 2 squared is 4 minus 15 divided by 5. Divided by 5. Now I have a subtraction problem and a division problem. If I follow order of operations, I do division before subtracting. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Bring down everything else. 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, factor pairs, that's easy. You're just doing like your factor rainbow. So make sure you don't miss any. So I have 1 and 28, 2 and 14, and 4 and 7. Prime factorization. You're doing your factor tree. Anytime you see prime factorization, start your factor tree. So you have 8. I'm going to write this off to the side so you can see. So the prime factorization of 88, I know I have 8 times 11. It doesn't matter how you solve it. You can do 2 and 44. It doesn't matter. You'll still end up with the same prime numbers. You guys have been doing great with this, so I'm not really too worried about it. And then 2 and 2. All my prime numbers. So the prime factorization of 88 equals, now I'm going to put all my prime numbers, 2 times 2 times 2 times 11. Or 2 to the 3rd power times 11. Finding the GCF, again, I believe that listing them is the easiest, but if you can do prime factorization, that's another way to do it also. So if you're listing your prime factorization, your GCF of 27 and 45, so again, 1 and 27, we can't do 2, 3 times 9, that was very easy. And then for 45, I'm going to list 1 and 45. 2 is not divisible. 45 is not divisible by 2. I can do 3 and 15. This would be a good idea to look at the factor chart I gave you today with all the factors up to 100. 4 doesn't work. 5 times 9. Looking at these numbers, I'm going to look at which ones are in common. I have 1 and 3, and I have 9. 1, 3, and 9. My greatest common factor, meaning my largest number, my GCF equals 9. LCM is the total opposite. The M stands for multiple. So you know that you're going to list your multiples of those numbers. So the multiples of 4, I'm going to do 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4, and so on. Those are all the multiples. And I can go further, but I'm going to stop right here just to see. And in my head, I kind of can do mental math and say, well, I know multiples of 4. I know 4 and 14. I can see that 14 times 2 is 28. So I'm going to test it. 14 and 28. And I'm going to stop right there. There's no need to list more because I already found the least common multiple between the two. The LCM is 28. All right. A square playground has an area of 196, while area equals length times width. So it has an area of 196 square feet. Write it as a power. So you know you're going to have an exponent. Well, if there was a square playground and the area on the inside is 196, then I know there's a number times a number that's going to equal 196 because area equals length times width. If I look at my perfect squares with the other chart that I gave you today, looking at it, so 14 is 14 times 14 equals 196. And to do it as a power, because this is what they're asking you to do, so you're going to make sure that there's a power, you're going to say, then it's 14 squared. The next problem talks about, and feel free to pause or stop or go back. I know I'm kind of zipping through this. We've done a lot of practice yesterday and today. The next problem says you water your roses every 6th day and your hydrangeas every 5th day. Remember, when you see the word every, that's going to kind of tell you that you're going to be multiplying and there's some kind of pattern. So this tells you that you're going to use LCM, least common multiple. Today you water both plants. And how many days will you water both plants on the same day again? So you're going to list your multiples to see. So multiples of 6 and multiples of 5. My multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I can keep going. I'm going to stop right there just to see. Because I know 5s, if I count by 5s, I will reach 30. 15, 20, 25, 30. So these are the least, this is the least common multiple. So the LCM is 30 days. Look for the clue words in the problem to help you decide whether you're going to find greatest common factor or least common multiple. I think the most difficult question that you might find a little tricky is finding what is the greatest perfect square that is a factor of 117. When you see this problem, first of all, I'm going to do the work down here. You know you have 117. It's telling you to factor, so that's your prime factor. That's your factor tree. I'm not really sure what numbers to do. I know that we know that 9 is a perfect square. I can take off to the side and do my divisibility. So let's see if I can divide 117 by 9. I can just try it just to see, test it if it works. So 9 goes into 11 one time. That's 9. And I'm going to subtract, bring my 7 down. And then 9 goes into 27 3 times. So that tells me that it works. So I know 9 times 13 is 117. So I'm going to write that down. Then 13 is prime. And I still have 3 and 3. These are all my prime numbers. If I looked at this prime factorization, I know that the greatest perfect square in these set of numbers is 9. If I'm not really sure what I'm going to do and I end up coming up with something else, here's another way. So I had some students divide by 3, and they came up with 3 and 39. Well, that still works too. But none of these numbers are perfect squares. So if I take my 39 and I multiply 3 times 13, now I have all prime numbers. If you end up with this type of a prime factor tree and you don't see any perfect square numbers, so 39 is not a perfect square number, neither is 33 or 13. You take the couple that match together and you multiply them to themselves. So I have, these are one pair. So I can say the prime factorization of 117 is equal to 3 times 3 times 13. I take these two together, multiply them together. 3 times 3 equals 9. So in both methods, the greatest perfect square that is a factor of 117 is 9. Moving on to our problem with the packages of hot dogs and hamburgers and buns. It says hamburgers are sold in packages of 20, while buns are sold in packages of 12. Think back to the video that I showed you this earlier today, and the frustration with that of why would you need to know how many packages you need to buy. You guys told me today that there's a clue, and it says what are the least numbers of packages you need to buy. Well, when it tells you what are the least number of packages, you know that you're going to do the LCM. So the LCM, you're going to list your packages of 12 and 20 and try to find the least common multiple. So I have 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. I'm going to stop right there because I know that 60 is also a multiple of 20. So now I'm going to list my 20s. So 20 times 1, 20 times 2, 20 times 3. And I'm going to stop right there. My least common multiple, the least number that they have in common, is 60. So it's 60 packages. For the next problem, you're also doing least common multiples. We listed them today. You're listing packages of 50 guests and 35 guests. And when you do your factors, least common multiple, you're going to list all the multiples of 35, list all the multiples of 50, 50 times 1, 50 times 2, and so on. And your least common multiple was 350. All right. I think you are more than ready. You should be okay with this. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.